Hey everyone, Chris here again. Thank you so much for your interest in this wash cart. This is a video for the total overview, piece by piece, and I wanted to note also that the cost breakdown, I wanted to put it within the same video, but there's just too much going on with this cart, and so if you're specifically only looking for cost, I will put a link here for that other video. This one is going to be specifically just all the pieces step by step. All right, so let's start with the top portion of the cart. Up here, I keep my two buckets, wash and rinse. I've kind of changed my two bucket method into one, so I'll keep all my soapy wash towels in here, and then I'll use them on the car, and then when they need to be rinsed, instead of doing that, I'll just throw them in the rinse bucket. They'll just stay in there, and I'll just grab a new towel. I know Larry from Ammo is doing this, and probably a lot of others. I think it's a lot better than, you know, the two bucket with like dunking whatever, but you go through a lot of towels this way. I still wash them. I use microfiber soap to keep them clean, and then I also have a storage system to kind of keep separate what's clean, and then, like, you know, the tiers that kind of Larry also has is like the ABC towels of like what's dirty and what's clean, and like grades of cleanliness. Anyways, moving on from the buckets, also keep the bucket filler up here. This is just a stainless braided hose I got from like Amazon, and then this Ultimate Fireman's nozzle that I also bought from Amazon. This Quick Connect is a Duda diesel brand, and the reason why I didn't buy MTM at the time is they didn't have a valved one. They might have one now, but the way this one works is if there's water running through it, then nothing's gonna come out. And I originally wanted that for this bucket filler setup, but I haven't really been utilizing this piece as much. But I haven't had any reason to replace it, so it's great. This one here is a plug for the Prevost quick disconnect for the garden hose, and also my PF22 foam cannon with that new bottle, and ONR, which I use pretty often. If I'm not using CarPro Reset, I generally am using just ONR. It's so versatile in terms of as a waterless wash, but I'll still use it for my general maintenance washes as well as sometimes just like a full-on wash also, because it doesn't leave any residues or like waxes and things like that. Well, specifically this version on your paint. It's here that I realized that I actually forgot to talk about this piece, and I actually really like it. It's a Pro Blend. I forgot who makes it, but it's a little thing that helps you do mixing for products. So I actually generally have it set for how much ONR solution that I need, and you just squeeze the bottle. It kind of comes through the straw that you can see there, and fills to the top, and then you set how much solution you want. I have a couple of them, and I use them for a couple of things, but I use this one the most. And since I use that pretty often, I wanted to include details on it, but back to the rest of the video. So moving on, we have my bottles up here. This is Express Interior Cleaner by P&S, and it's in a Quasar dual action spray bottle. Also use Brake Buster. I'm using this pretty much every wash to clean my wheels. Both of these are like dual action sprayers. They're 500 milliliters. So what the dual action is when you, I'll use this one to show you guys, but when you pull in, it sprays, and then when you let go, it sprays. So pull in, it sprays, and then let go. I thought I would really like these, but they're kind of just okay. I guess it makes a big difference with the Brake Buster because you're using quite a bit of it on the wheels. But yeah, I also use Bead Maker, and I use Supreme Interior Detailer. Now I got this from a shop that's in Orange County. I really like this and the sheen that it leaves on my interior, so I put it on every couple months because it lasts quite a while. But in terms of actually cleaning it, I've been using this, and then prior to that I was using Chemical Guys odorless, colorless, or whatever they have. Anyways, up here I also keep my two Mosmatic nozzles. These are 25 and 40, and it looks like there's not a lot of space up here, but if you take the buckets off, which they're going to be when you're using the cart, there's like plenty of space for you to work. Like put my gun down here in between and things like that. And below we have here, these are just like garage tiles. I can link those. Everything's going to be in the description for the most part. I'll do kind of like a cost breakdown. I don't know what it looks like now, but I'll probably add something at the end of the video just to show in total how much it costs to have all this stuff. Up here I also have just extra set of gloves. I think I probably put them on to do something real quick, and then they didn't have holes in them, so I just am reusing them. And then I have a pressure gauge. I had to take that off, but I'll get to that. And then this top portion, this is the first piece of water filtration that I have. I have dual filtration set up on this cart, and let me come around this way. So the inlet for the garden hose connects here. I have a quick disconnect on like my garden hose, like for watering plants and things like that. I'd take off the nozzle for that and then throw that on here. So how this works is this is purified water, and then this will just be pure tap. So the only time I actually run this portion is to rinse the car. And the reason why I have this is, so this one's a sediment and this one's a carbon filter. I've been told that if you use this dual filtration, your resin will last a lot longer. I put this on after I've done the refresh for my resin, so I haven't seen the results yet, but I'm hoping that it turns out well. So if you're not, when you do the purified water, it would come, so this is on, it'll run through here, come down, and then it loops behind, and then comes to the CR Spotless. The CR Spotless, this is the DIW20, it's the wall mount version. I bought it used, and you can see that it kind of has some wear here. But it's just, it works perfectly fine. It's just a aesthetics thing. I might swap out these canisters at one point just because they look pretty beat up, but they work fine for now, so we'll see if I actually end up doing that. So the water, yeah, the water comes, it loops from behind, you can see as I'm pulling it, comes through here, and then there's this like strange looking bypass. And the reason why it's like this is because at the top here, when this is off and this is, if I just turn it to turn it on, and then this would mean that you're getting, you know, just pure tap. It's not running through the filter, so this is off. It comes through here and then runs through the back here and it's through this. So it's kind of strange, and I know that the other bypasses are set up like this too. I'm not sure about if it gets backed up or anything like that, but theoretically, like, you know, the tap would just come through like this and then run down here, or it would come through and be filtered and then come down here and then just come out this way. And then this is another braided hose down here to my pressure washer. The only equipment that I keep down here generally is the pressure washer and the Cox reels. So we have this braided hose with another due to diesel quick disconnect here, and then within this is an elbow, the same one that we have here, to my pressure washer. And then the pressure washer outlet I have, so here's the 3/8 coupler, and then it's a 1/4 inch inlet on a 3/8 coupler. So this piece, if you just took it out, it's just this. And that's where this was. So originally when I bought this, it was like to measure the pressure on my pressure washer, and I took that out, and then I have this pressure switch set up. I will talk about this one a bit more in depth later. I'm having some issues specifically with this one. I'm still kind of testing how to get that total stop system like set up properly on the pressure washer here. So this comes out, and then this is just a jumper hose to my Cox reels. This is a 50-foot Cox reels, and then this is that connects on the inside here to a 50-foot Cobra Jet hose. Let me come around this way. And then this is At the end of the hose is a 3/8 General Pump coupler, and the Mosmatic gun will be at the end of this. Let me go grab that. So back over here at one of my workbenches, we keep my Mosmatic gun, and then the wand's in here too. I used to have, these are older nozzles, and then I used to power the pressure washer using like this, one of those like outlet remotes. I probably won't need to use this in the future if I can figure out that TSS. Let me go grab the gun. All right, so we got the gun. That goes at the end of the hose here. And so that's pretty much the full system setup. Sorry, so I can put this up. Now that we're done with all the larger items, let's move on to the individual hose connection pieces. So for the smaller pieces of the setup, one of these hoses came with the CR Spotless, and it's supposed to help you regulate the amount of like water that kind of comes through, so it doesn't max out on its ability to deionize the water and you're not getting water spots. So I decided to, buy similar braided cables, so it doesn't look like there's one here and then the other side is just a standard garden hose. I wanted it all to look the same. That's also why this is a braided hose also. So these pieces here, this came with this filter. It's just a garden hose to some size MPT adapter. This you can probably find at Home Depot. I'll go ahead and link them in the description. And you want to make sure that you're diligent about your Teflon taping. In my experience, if you're not, you'll get leaks. And then the two connections that are on here came from CR Spotless. This is a stainless steel elbow. I have 3 of these, and then 2 of which I'm using. This elbow connects to this here, and I have one of those up there. I forgot to talk about this. This is just like a elbow that I bought from Amazon or whatever it is. As long as it doesn't leak, it doesn't matter. These ball valve ones, like this piece specifically could be leaking, and I have no idea. I don't think it really matters because both of these you're always going to keep on. And then these adapters here are the same ones that I have up here. In terms of quantity and counting everything out, how much you need of each, I can put those in the description, but off the top of my head I am not too sure. That connection feeds to this braided hose, and then we have another one of the Zorro adapters here to the Duda Diesel quick disconnect, as I mentioned before. Then when you see another one of the elbows, you can see here the 2 adapters. So this is essentially a 3/4 inch NPT. Both of these are male, and then they go to a female counterpart and then a male counterpart. So this is a GHT male inlet. Here we have a MTM Hydro stainless steel, M22, since it's a Sunjo 15 millimeter, industry standards of 14. And then we already talked about this. And this is one of the older MTM couplers that I have. This jumper hose is MTM, and I think that covers it, goes to the gun. This is just like a little rolly stand thing that I had before. I pretty much took off the casters and then just drilled this on there. I'm probably going to replace this at some point. This was just like a little dinky thing that I had to move furniture. And then I didn't want to drill this hose into the metal frame of this. And so I was like, I'll just put it on here for now. The pressure washer is on top of this wood here. This is actually 2 wood blocks that I wood glued and screwed together and then painted black. You can see it's already kind of chipping here. This is from an old cabinet that I was going to throw out. I'm looking into pressure washer skid plates, but girlfriend's told me I already spent too much money on this setup, which is kind of true. And then actually up here, this setup here, this top piece is also made from the same cabinet as below. I just cut up the wood and screwed it together to put a little mount. It's essentially just the bottom, or the top shelf piece from the cabinet, and then these are the shelves that I just cut with a table saw, as well as this part. It's held up okay. The paint, I guess, looks better on this, slightly better on this one than the others, but I'll probably keep this because there's nothing really like this. It's just this strange like one-off thing that I've made. And I'll probably replace this at some point. We'll see. But yeah, that's the whole cart. One thing that I wish that this one had was locking casters. And so I wash on this kind of incline. I don't know if you can tell that it's on an incline, but I wish this had locking casters because it doesn't stay still. If it makes it past like a certain point, it'll just roll. So I know that's a bit more complicated. A lot of you probably don't have to worry about that. But if I end up doing it, I'll probably do another video or something like that on this. And that's the full cart. Thank you so much for watching and sticking through the whole video. It's pretty long, and it's my first go at kind of editing these things. I know it's not the greatest, but I hope that kind of clarified all the things that kind of went into the cart. Putting it together actually ended up spending way more than I anticipated. If you watch the video, you'll see that it was around $1,500. But here's the link for that other video. And again, thanks so much for watching, guys, and your interest in my cart.